Welcome, everyone. A couple of notes here at the top right before I get into the main topic. First of all, I want to give a shout out to my cousin Mary, who ran, Mary Foley, who ran a little promo on her Facebook page. And if you're joining as a result of that, I really appreciate that. But it does put extra pressure knowing that Mary and other family members are actually watching this. I got to raise my game a little bit. But just to note what we're doing, if you're jumping in the middle, is low production on my phone, in my office, just kind of doing some coaching around what research has shown to be the most effective thing you can do to grow spiritually, and that's engage with the Bible. And engage means more than just read. It means pray over, think over, ponder meaning in your life as a result of reading the Bible. I said if you do that as a daily practice at least 4 days a week, you can see true impact in your life in a major way. So the hope is just to pass along some advice and some help for a lifetime of actually being able to do that. So that's the first note. The second note is this. I want you to notice that on the YouTube page, there's one called Bonus Track, and I decided I'm going to do a few of these as I think of subjects that aren't on the books we're studying, but subjects that might be of help or interest. I'm going to do a bonus track every now and then. If you want to watch them, that's great. If not, that's fine too. But the bonus track I did was about a resource that I found that's free for one thing, but the best resource I've found for free that just kind of explains that. The next bonus track I think I'm going to do is on translations. What translation should I read? Which one's better? And all that. I'm going to throw in on that topic. And I say that, first of all, because I'm going to read the book of 2 John, because that's where we are. And the version I'm reading at this particular time is from the New American Standard Bible. And I've read in the past from the New International. But what I want to do is I want to talk about the primary topic of the book of 2 John, that if you read it through, like we've asked you to do, you'll notice if you're paying attention at all and listening. But you can hear it again here. Starting in verse 1, it says, "The elder to the chosen lady and her children, whom I love in the truth. And not only I, but also all who know the truth. For the sake of the truth which abides and will be with us forever. Grace, mercy, and peace," and that's what we talked about last time, "will be with us from God the Father and from Jesus Christ, the Son of the Father, in truth and love. I was very glad to find some of your children walking in the truth, just as we have received the commandment to do from the Father." Did you hear one word come up a lot? Now, if you're paying attention, and that's what as I've read the book of 2 John through each day, and I'm doing that in my own devotional, I noticed that the word truth comes up a lot. I haven't counted how many yet, but it's several. There was at least 4 in there just in what I just read. So truth is kind of the primary topic of this letter. And if you saw the background stuff on it, it was because some people had gone out and were deceiving people. They were trying to pull them away from the truth. And that's really what the letter is all about. And as you process this, now I'm not doing these to teach the Bible per se, but I'm going to do a little bit of that this time, and I will do a little bit in the future. But just as you see that kind of theme surface, and we talked a little bit about this, much of Bible engagement is about asking good questions and asking questions that you want to go search out. Like, for instance, the first question of that is, well, what is truth? Do I believe in truth? What's he saying is the truth? And I think it's so important. That's why I want to do a little bit of Bible teaching on this, because this issue of truth is enormous in our society, in our culture, because we live in what Webster just a few years ago dubbed the phrase or the term in our language of post-truth society. Now, they were doing that because of media and politics and things, but we live in what's called a post-truth society. Some people believe there's not really any true truth. There's just individual interpretations of reality. Well, there's no question that the writer, John, of the book of 2 John, believed that there was such a thing as truth. As a matter of fact, he's very passionate about it. And so how I can engage with it is, even though my society is going one way where everybody has their own truth and you're told to live your truth, something's going on here where this guy's like, no, we're hanging on to the truth, a truth that we know is there. And he says it's Jesus Christ and the Father, and he's calling on his readers to walk in the truth, to not support those who pull people away from the truth and deceive them. It's pretty interesting stuff. Now, with that in mind, I want to pass along another little resource that I got years ago. I read recreationally, so I've read a pretty good amount of books. And one of the things I remember from a book I read probably 20 years ago always stuck with me. The guy defined the truth in the simplest but most profound way I'd ever heard it defined. He said, "The truth is what is." Now, that didn't come out of the Bill Clinton thing, for those of you who remember that stuff. No, the truth is what is. And what he meant by that was, in the end, the simplest definition of truth is what's actual, of what's real. Like, we take it for granted that what's real is what is. I'm making a recording on my phone that I'm going to post hopefully later, and I'm talking about Bible engagement right now in a day in January I'm in Evansville, Indiana, and I'm sitting. That's the truth. That's what is. That's what's reality. The truth is this my phone is sitting on my laptop. That's the truth. You're sitting in a chair, you're driving your car, whatever it is you're doing while you're doing that. That's the truth. The truth is what is. Now, you can get in, you'll hear people say, well, how do you really know that? But if you get into that and you say there's no truth, well, then that causes all kinds of contradictions. But the truth is what is. Now, why is that important for our discussion of 2 John? He obviously cares about the truth. He's calling them to walk in the truth. He says that Jesus Christ is the truth, and as is the Father, and they're supposed to not support those who take people away from the truth. The truth is what is. And in our culture, what he's saying is, when we talk about this stuff of Jesus and the Father and the commandment to love and the different things that the Bible talks about, that the book of 2 John talks about, it's what's actual. In other words, there really is a God the Father who watches over us and and loves us. There really is this person of Jesus who he says later on, he said these deceivers are claiming that he didn't come in the flesh. Well, the truth is he either came in the flesh or he did not come in the flesh. And what he's saying is there were some teachers back then that said he didn't come in the flesh, but he's saying he did, and it's very important. In other words, that's the truth. That's what really, truly is. A lie would be to say, I'm not sitting in this chair right now, and I'm not talking to my phone, or I'm not. Now, that all sounds very simple, but when you apply that definition of truth to things in the Bible and things in our culture, it kind of helps sort out some stuff. Truth is not what I simply perceive to be real or what I feel is a good thing. Truth is what's actual. And Christians believe, and the Bible says, that we're sanctified by the truth. In other words, we're set apart. We're set apart by the truth, by what is. But there really is a Father. There really is a Son who died on the cross, literally, physically, rose again from the dead, literally, physically. If you could get in a time machine, you could go back and see the events of the New Testament unfold before your eyes, just like this is unfolding before your eyes. And that's critical for our day and age. And so I'm hoping that the idea of truth will grow in you and out from you as you engage with the book of 2 John. So watch that theme, think about what it is, and process it even more, and maybe process that definition. What do you think of the definition of truth?